Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make not one but two lovely little cards, and that's why I've called it a lovely couple. They are two smaller cards and they'd be ideal for something like thinking of you or Valentine's Day. And we use a little bit of shrink plastic just over something simple like a stencil. So for example, let me just give you a close-up. I'm not going to do hold up. Let's have a close-up.
Okay, so we've got two lovely little cards. One's 4x4 and one's 5x5. And they've literally got a stencil background and some shrink plastic on them. And it's all down to how you position those hearts as to what design you decide to make with them. I think it's a cracking idea. Simple but effective.
So we've got a set of hearts that are made to look like a flower, and we've got just a trio of hearts. Very simple, but so effective. I think sometimes, simple is best. I can get completely bound up into not wanting to let the craft go, and perhaps sometimes, I hate to say it, overworking it. But I like this for its simplicity. So enough chat from me. Let me show you how they're done.
Right, so the first thing I'm going to show you very quickly is how to make a heart template. Now I've started off with some Sizzix shrink plastic, white side up, and an MDF heart shape, and I'm literally drawing around that, cutting it out and shrinking it. Using my Ranger heat tool and some Sizzix shrink plastic accessories. Because it's a larger shape, you may need to keep moving it so that the heat gets into all angles. Sometimes, rarely, because it's a larger shape, it might stick. So you might have to try and pull it apart a bit, but don't panic about it. It'll be fine. There we go. Once it's done that bit, the next bit is to draw around that. Shrink it down, cut it out and shrink it down. This one's a bit easier because it's not quite as big. Once it's flat, and doesn't look like it's going to shrink anymore, you need to flatten that and then draw around that one. And this, I'm just doing this one to show you what size that will shrink to, because this is the size that we are going to be using. Except it's flying away, look. Stay still, you wee beastie. There we go. Fab. 1, 2, 3. So now that we've done that bit, we're going to make the hearts. So we're using the second one up from the smallest and template, that is, and I'm just going to draw around it. I'm probably going to need about 10 of them, and I'm going to allow for any mistakes. You know when you do a colour that you think, actually I don't like that one, oh, but I've got to start over again. It's nice to have that mistake and know that you've got some ready to work with without having to go back to the drawing board. So if you draw around those as many times as you need and then cut them out. Hopefully we're going to go faster because I don't think you need to see me cut them. There we go. There we go. So I have gone with 10. Colouring the hearts. Now this is simple. We're just using Posca pens and we're pushing the nib down onto that shrink plastic, white side up. And here I've got the aqua green colour and I'm going to do 2 of each colour. So I've literally put a dollop of ink on there and I'm rubbing it in with my finger. Yeah, I'm just letting it dry. Gone with the lilac, that was the coral pink. Now this is the lilac Posca pen. As I said, 2 of each colour and a light pink. Nice and fresh and spring-like. Now let's stamp some interest on the hearts. Wait until they're dry, obviously. Crack open that archival ink. I've gone with cobalt this time. And that's the Deeper Than the Ocean stamp. And I've literally just inked up the first word, dream. because I think that's a lovely word. And then we've got the little mushrooms from, or is it toadstools, from the lamp set. Mini leaf creeper for a little bit of detail, but not too much. And I think the navy is less harsh, but still as dark and, what am I trying to say? It still stands out beautifully, doesn't it? Now I've gone with some see a weed stamp, and just using the last few words, see a wish. There we go. Obviously you can use whatever stamps you want, I'm just giving you an idea. So now we're going to add some Posca accents. So looking at the stamps we've already used, you can see here I'm using a light pink Posca, but it's on the aqua green heart. So just aim to go for the colours that stand out the best on the hearts. I tend to keep those Poscas that I've already used and just keep working with them, rotating them round. Now that's Winterberry stamp, and I'm just using that, like I did the mini leaf creeper, as a little bit of interest. So that's my apple green Posca pen. Little bit of yellow. Aqua green again, little bit of yellow. As I say, just hop around using the same colours, but making sure you don't use the same colour as the actual heart itself. Dots are always good, don't forget. Now this is shrinking time. So using my Ranger heat tool and my super shrink plastic Sizzix accessory, I don't know what you'd call that really, but it's great because it holds things and then I can turn it the other way up and stamp it flat, which is ideal. So you can see I'm shrinking the hearts down. Now I deliberately haven't talked about the darker of the blue hearts because I didn't actually like it in the end. So please ignore that blue heart there. It doesn't exist. Look at that though. And those words come out beautifully clear, just a lot smaller. See, ignore this blue one. It's not there. So if you think something hasn't gone flat completely and you're heating it up from the top side, if you like, just turn it over and give it a quick blast on the back and you should find that it'll flatten itself out, which is like magic. I've got rather a lot of hearts there. They don't all have to go on one card, do they? Fab. And I suppose you might think, oh, they do look a bit bland. But once I've shrunk them down and added a few bits and pieces, they become quite full of character and pretty and dainty, which is actually something I don't tend to do that well. Anyway, adding foil accents, I said we'd add something. This is what we're doing. Fab foil, so it's that Zig two-way glue pen, just putting it around the edge of the heart, heating it up until it gets tacky, and using some Copper Rose fab foil. Again, heating up that glue until it gets tacky, a bit like a sticker or a postage stamp. Little bit of gold. Doesn't have to be the same colour, you know. The foil can be different colours, and that's lovely too. And with the lilac, again using the glue pen, heating it up, and that's teal. Little bit more teal. Doing the same with the other one. No, we're not. This is pale pink, is it, or lilac? Ah, blush fab foil. And then on the coral pink hearts, what have I done? Gold. I'm sure there's a song in that somewhere. So now, on the card itself, I'm going to do a stencil background. So I've got the Replenish stencil and a size 9 stencil brush and some confetti ink. Elements Ink Confetti even, sorry. And that's a 5x5 card. A little bit of glossy accents. 1, 2, 3. Simple, but effective. Card number 2, please. Again, same sort of thing. Replenish stencil, 4x4 card blank, and some Elements Ink Confetti. And this is where I had a look and thought, well, I can't do it that way. Don't want to do it that way, although you could. I'm going to turn it into a flower. I can almost hear the cogs whirring. And then using my glossy accents again, glue those hearts into place. Fab. So we've used the stencil, we've used some stamps, we've used an MDF shape, some shrink plastic, inks and Posca. Now we're going to try and add some interest to the envelopes. Now if you want to seal this, you could use some of the distress glaze on top. So this is the Elements Ink Confetti, and I'm literally just doing a flash of the stencil across the bottom right hand corner and on the back of the flap. There you go, on both of them. But it just makes it a set, which is fab. Happy days. Wait for that to set though before you send it away. So well done, folks. You did it. 2 lovely cards for a lovely couple of people.
So these would be ideal for something like Valentine's Day. And if you're panicking about what to get for somebody you care about, maybe this might be a way around it. So enough chat from me. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I certainly have. Thank you very much for coming along. If you've got any comments you'd like to make about this post, please pop them in the post below and I will do my very best to get back in touch with you as soon as I can. But in the meantime, you take care and I'll see you again soon. Bye.